You know, I love being in the green room. This is where the magic happens. And ladies and gentlemen, trust me, look over there. There's green. Can you imagine that? Like for the first time, I think we have someone with a green wall. And so we're officially in the green room. So thank you so much, Erica. Thank you. I appreciate it. Folks are probably looking at you and want to know, who is Erica and what are you up to? Now, I could read the bio, but they know I don't like to read bios. They have your bio. They're already Googling you. So take a moment and tell them who is Erica, but more importantly, what are you up to these days?
Absolutely. First of all, thank you for having me on your show. And I thank the viewers for watching such a wonderful show because you have a wonderful platform that delivers a lot of great information to people. But I am Erica Lynn, and I'm known as Erica Lynn Speaks. I'm a motivational speaker, a transformational coach. I'm also a podcast host of Erica Lynn Speaks podcast, and I'm an author of the Seven Techniques of Healing. And so, what I'm up to is I'm up to changing lives. I want to change lives, and that's my goal to always make an impact, make an impression, motivate, inspire people into moving into a different direction. So if you were stuck, my goal is to help you become unstuck. So I'm always on the go doing something.
You said always on the go doing something. Folks may be wondering right now, we're going to have this topic, the power of healing yourself. Take a moment, if you would, and why did you, one, select that topic? And what should the dualpreneurs that watch out there that have full-time jobs and they're full-time entrepreneurs, and what should the entrepreneurs that are watching right now, what should they expect from this topic? So two-part question. Number one is why the topic? And then number two, what should they expect from this particular conversation we're going to have?
Well, they are the reason why I chose the topic because we have so much inside of us. We're trying to juggle life, two jobs, mom, the career, being in the pandemic. Now everybody's a school teacher, right? Working from home. And it could be overwhelming. But the reality is there's so much power inside of you. You just have to know how to hone in on it and bring it out and unleash it so that you can be all things to everybody and everybody can be all things to you. But what you have to do is know how to unleash that power so that when you're balancing your life or going through all of these things, that the power is what's helping you maintain yourself. And so that's what they're going to get out of this, learning how to maintain their balance, learn how to unleash the power, and learn definitely the tools and techniques to keep them on path. Like, sometimes we all kind of get wavered a little bit, or we got to take two steps back, and it's like, wow, if I take three steps, I'm going to fall. Well, you learn the tools and the techniques to catch yourself from falling, but keep you excelling and moving forward.
What do you say to the folks that are out there that are watching right now and they're saying, wow, this is so important? I mean, obviously there's a global health pandemic going on right now. There's a global social justice, racial pandemic going on right now. There's a global financial pandemic going on right now. And there's a lot happening in the world. Take a moment and take us behind the scenes and tell me, what type of conversations have you and your colleagues been having in order to stay encouraged, in order to stay the course, and in many cases, in order to be able to pivot during these times?
Yes, absolutely. First of all, we're going to talk about the mental stability that everyone is struggling with, during this pandemic, because I don't think anybody spent this much time at home before, because the way America was built, we always on the go, 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 go. You spend less time at home than you do anywhere else in the world. And so this is the first time that you're forced and confined into the walls of your home. And it's like, wow, what are you going to do? Or you spend a lot of time on the computer because you're working from home now. And so now when you get off the computer, now you're stuck looking at these walls. And so the goal is to allow you to exercise your mind. So give you certain things that you can do instead of feeling overwhelmed from just being at home. So for example, get up and go for a walk every day. Even on your lunch break, instead of actually eating lunch, walk to the mailbox or walk around the block, walk around your house, because you working from home. So ain't nobody, can't anyone tell you that you can't eat at your desk. So you're not missing any meals, right? And so to that helps exercise your mind. So you want to learn different tools and techniques that you can do on a daily basis that keep you from feeling like, oh my God, I'm just overwhelmed, or I'm depressed, or I'm sad because you're at home all the time.
what do you enjoy most about what you're doing? I get it. We're in the green room, ladies and gentlemen, so we're having fun. We get to ask any questions you want. Don't worry. When we get over to the next segment, she's going to talk about, the power of really self-healing. She has 7 techniques. And don't worry, I'm asking what's the best technique. No, I'm asking for another one. Don't worry. We're going to do a little deep dive in there. But right now, I'm curious, and you might be curious, why does she do what she does? I mean, she could do anything with her life right now. She could spend time with her children. She could spend time with her family. She could do something else, but right now she's chosen this passion. So let's ask her and find out, what, Erica, is your big why?
Well, my why is my children. My why is myself. You see, I hit rock bottom myself. I hit rock bottom. My pains and my hurts were so deep that you couldn't cut through them with a knife. But I just remember before I even started on my healing process, I went back to college when I was 35 years old, Shay. And you would think, after being on welfare, after being in abusive relationships and all the things that I went through, that when I graduated from college, I was like, for sure, I'm going to be successful. For sure, I'm not going to have to go on welfare, get food stamps anymore. Like, I'm just going to live the life, have the dream job. But after I graduated from college at 39, I actually hit rock bottom, Shay. I was suicidal. My depression was so bad that I just couldn't function anymore. And so I really, really had to dig deep down inside myself and go through my healing journey and heal all the pains and hurts from my past once and for all. And as a result of that, that's where all the techniques and all of the tools that I share with everybody came about. But just being able to stay focused, because what people don't know is healing is not a short-term journey. So you're not going to be healed in 2 weeks. It's a long-term journey. And so as you go on this, sometimes it's a lifetime journey for many people. And when you're on this journey, you find yourself slipping from time to time, and you need to understand what you need to do to keep yourself from slipping back to that place where you were when you were at your low, but to help you keep moving you forward.
Help you keep moving forward. I'm excited, man, for those folks that are out there, like Talisha's out there watching right now. Kelvin is watching right now. Beth, you're in for a treat. Look, we've got a show, and we're going to get started in 5. It's my favorite part. 4, can't wait. 3, 2, 1. Let's take it away. We'll see you on the other side. It's showtime.
I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Papa.
Well, it's a great day. My name is Shay Brown, the happy entrepreneur, and welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show, the #1 business development and revenue focused late night show in the country, where we're on a mission. And our mission is to empower. Our mission is to inspire. And our mission is really to provide you, that's right, you, the entrepreneur, with all of the resources that are necessary to execute that big vision you have for the people you were called to serve. And I always say you have 3 visions. I want to remind you that. I think the first vision you have is you have a vision for yourself. You know, the food you want to eat so you have the vitality, the car that you want to drive so you're comfortable, the home and neighborhood that you're in for you and your family. And it takes resources, which means it takes revenue to execute that vision. Then I believe you have a second vision you have. You have really a vision for your loved ones. You know, the kids, the children you want to send to a school of your choice. Some of you want to write a check for a loved one's mortgage right now. You want to write for their health care insurance. Or some of you want to write a check for one of the causes you believe in right now so you can support it. And it takes resources, which means it takes revenue. And the third vision I believe you have is you have a vision for the people you were called to serve. Now, I'm a believer. You don't have to be a believer. I always say I don't want to impose my faith on you. But imagine that you're the character Noah in the Bible, and you have this big vision. It wasn't given, it's not from you. It was given to you to pass through you to someone else. And so you're ready to execute it. You got the experience. You've got the expertise. And right before you get started, there's a knock at the door. You look over. Oh, my gosh, a knock at the door. What's going on? Excuse me. Noah, I want to report to you that there are no hammers in the house. No hammers? Cool, I can deal with that. A second knock. That's not good. We know already, right? You know how this is going to land. What's going on? Noah, there's no nails in the house. Might as well throw that in, my man. No hammer, no nails, no big deal. Now, how many of you know when you get that third knock, you know there is a problem? Noah, over here, we want to let you know that there are no people and there's no wood. Good luck on this mission. Now, that might be you. You got the right heart. You want to give, but you're lacking resources. And today, this morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever time you're watching, the one and only Erica Lynn showed up to give you the resources so you can heal yourself, so you can heal your family, you can heal your community, and you can make a bigger difference in the world. What's going on, Erica? How are you? Welcome to the Happy Entrepreneur Show.
I'm wonderful. Thank you for having me with all these wonderful entrepreneurs. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Well, it is an honor and a privilege, a treat and a treasure to have you here. I'm super excited. Look, let me just address the elephant in the room. You've got this title, The Power to Heal Yourself. And there's some folks might be thinking, okay, is this another one of those eat the red pill, swallow the blue pill, drink some motion potion, and all of a sudden, or do I close my eyes? And nothing wrong with that. This does work. Some of my best friends do this kind of stuff, and it's important. But they might be wondering, I've seen Kumbaya in the world that comes together. Why this title, and why do you think it's relevant now more than any other time in history?
Well, the reason why it's important is because you want to be a successful CEO. You want to be a successful entrepreneur, but you're struggling. And it's okay to say that I'm struggling. Just say I'm struggling. And so I try to take the weight off of somebody releasing it out of their mouth, because do you know when you take the weight off of pain and pressure and experiences that's weighing you down, then you can play big, you can play bigger, you can play the biggest that you've ever played in your life. And so the whole goal of unleash the power, in order to unleash the power, let's take the weight off the things that's holding you down. So that's why we come up with that title. Let's take the weight off. Let's remove the emotional bondage. Let's remove things that happen to you, marriage, divorce, relationships, past abuse, hurts. You might have just gotten lost your job, or perhaps a major client that you wanted to take on, and they were going to change the trajectory of your business. And your business is going to be floating, but we're in the pandemic, and you were dependent on that income to come in and change the trajectory of your business, but it didn't. And it's going to sadden you. It's going to take you into a place where you're depressed, perhaps, you're sad. Some people might not even bounce back from that. So my goal is to just help you learn coping techniques and tools that you can use. So this one, when it happens, not only do you cope, but you're able to identify that sometimes the root cause may not even be what you think it is. It's something a little deeper. But when we fix that, then you can move forward. You can be happy about it. And so now when you come back out here and you unleash the power, now you're playing bigger than you've ever played in your life. You're out here changing lives. Your company is going to a whole nother level. And you're ready. You're like, I'm ready. I can take anything. It's strengthening you. It's building you. See that power that's inside of you, because blows is going to always come at you. But when you unleash the power, you just like in a boxing match, movie, bob your head a little bit, bob and weave from the things that's coming at you. And so your power that's within you helps you to sustain and move forward.
Sustain and move forward. Quick question, and we're going to get into what's at least a couple of these tips and techniques that you have. What do you think holds most people back today, based on your experience, from just self-healing themselves? I mean, just saying, okay, this happened, I'm going to move on. And I know it's a loaded question, and you could probably do a whole 5-part series on it. But if you had to boil it down, say, you know what, Shay, here's one of the major challenges that holds people back from just stepping forward and just self-healing themselves right now.
Well, one of the major challenges, Shay, is themselves. The ability to believe that you can do it. The ability to open up your mouth and say, I'm kind of jacked up a little bit. I need a little help. See, if you don't open up your mouth and ask someone for help, how are they going to know that you need healing? Oftentimes, we find that people are depressed, sad, or in this emotional state of bondage because you just happen to go around them and you're like, oh, you don't seem the same. You're not acting the same way that you always act. But if you open up your mouth and you say, I'm not feeling well. I'm not feeling happy. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm opening my mouth and I'm sharing this with you because perhaps together we can figure it out, or you can provide some resources for me so that I can get help in moving forward. Because people think that going to counseling, getting coaching for this type of thing is, I don't know, like it's a negative, a rare negative flag against you or something. But do you know that coaches have coaches too? Therapists go and see other therapists too, because all the things that we take on from helping heal you, we have to go and unpack it and unpack the things within ourselves as well. So the biggest thing that holds a person back is themselves. You cannot hold yourself back. If you know that there's some things or somewhere that you want to go in life, open up your mouth and ask for it. Ask for it. It's okay. Just ask for it.
So well said. Take us to one of the techniques. There's 7, and obviously we won't be able to get to all 7. And folks, she's going to talk about later how you can get the book, how she's available to be a speaker, and some cool things she's doing. But I'm curious, of the 7 techniques, what's one technique that you would share with us today? So tell us the technique and kind of give us a little backstory into it and how it can best help us, please.
Absolutely. So the 7 techniques of healing is broken down in an acronym. And so each letter in the word healing stands for the acronym, and it also stands for a technique. So for example, H stands for healing. So what does that mean? That means that we simply have to peel back the layers in your life and your story and the things that you've gone through in order to identify the root cause of your pain. Because again, you may think that one thing is the cause of your pain, but it really is deep rooted from something else. So you got to be able to be open and allow me to be nosy and dig, dig deep, and let's identify. And in the 7 techniques of healing, it's like a guidebook to walk you through that. So the book asks you very intrusive questions into your life. Nobody is going to see the answers besides you in the book. But remember, if you lie when you write your answers down, you're not lying to me. You're just lying to yourself. So once we identify what's going on, what happened to you, what the root cause is. But now, one of the techniques that you can utilize, again, as I said before, is like a coping technique. I like to always teach everyone a breathing technique. So simply, you just center yourself, put your feet firmly on the ground, and you release your body, and you take 2 deep breaths in. You breathe in, and you breathe out. You breathe in, and you breathe out. So now the 3rd time when you breathe in, you want to take in the things that was holding you back. And when you breathe out, you want to just say them. So for example, you breathe in like I'm hurt, and you breathe out, I am healed. So you want to take in the negative and release the positive. So it's a way of give and take. And then as you go further along into the techniques, then I have you like really getting rid of some other stuff. But a breathing technique really, really helps you, because just say, for example, as a CEO, everything is going wrong in your day. One of your employees got COVID, the bills aren't getting paid, this is happening, that happened. And so now you frustrated. You just can't think, you flustered, you can't move forward, you don't know how to fix the situation. But what you simply have to do, instead of get depressed or close the door or walk out on everybody, center your feet down on the ground. Take a couple deep breaths in and release all of that stuff out of you, so that clears your mind, and that allows you to move forward. That allows you to begin to make great decisions.
Take us to a time where you had to do that yourself.
All the time.
You said all the time. Did you do it before the show? Like, let me take a deep breath and get ready.
I did. I had a pretty, I wouldn't say stressful day, but I had gotten some news that wasn't really, that I didn't want to get.
Sure.
And so I didn't shut down. I got quiet, but then I had to take some deep breaths. But the same things that I teach everyone else, I do. So when I'm ready, I picked up the phone and I made a phone call. And this person is my go-to person. This is my person that I regularly dump on, or my person that I share, like, hey, Erica Lynn is not feeling her best today. And so we have a routine of things that we do, and they're able to say, okay, so why aren't you feeling that good? And I'm able to, express what I'm going through, and then we could talk about it, and then I'm good after that. Because a lot of times when you get it out, you feel so much better instead of holding it in. Because when you hold it in, you just, it begins to fester. It festers. And then the more it festers, the more depressed you get, the more sad you get, the more you're like, oh, I'm worthless, or I'm going to quit my company, or I'm not going to make that 6 figures. But when you get it out, you're able to bounce back and rejuvenate faster. Now you're like, okay, now I can take over the world. That was nothing. I went through that. That was just a moment. Now I'm ready. Now let's make this company big.
Make it bigger and better and stronger as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to one and only Erica Lynn. And she's talking about how to heal yourself, the power to heal yourself, but she's also sharing some techniques. So do me a favor, you can pay this message forward. We believe in the giver's economy. The person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. That's right, the person outgives the competition, out-earns the competition. So do me a favor, if you would, do me a favor, hit the share button. And when you hit the share button, just put, you got the power. Just write, you got the power. Hashtag Erica Lynn. Just put, you got the power. Now, why would you want to share this message forward? There might be another little girl or a little boy or big girl or big boy that's out there right now. And they're like, you know what? This is what I need right now. I know I have the talent. I know I have the gifts, but I'm just not doing and serving up to my potential. And when you heal yourself, it allows you to be able to serve at a much higher level. So hit the watch party button. Erica's okay with it. Don't worry. Take the link, put it into your private group. She's giving it away. Don't worry. You can do that. Erica, give us technique number 2. Now, it's not number 2 in the sequence of order, ladies and gentlemen. She has 7 techniques as part of this book. But I'm asking her just to grab a couple of those and share those with you right now. And that's exactly what she's doing.
Yes. One of the techniques is inspire, right? When you inspire, that means that how do you give yourself inspiration? Because Erica Lynn can't go with you every day and inspire you. I can motivate you with the book. I can motivate you with the words. But what happens when you're no longer working with Erica Lynn? How do you inspire and motivate yourself? So one of the techniques that I want everybody watching this live to do, you can either get 10 index cards or get a sheet of paper and cut it up into 10 squares, fold it, cut it. And I want you to write your own positive affirmations on there, things that you want to accomplish. So if you want your company to make $1 million by the end of the year, and you guys have already reached $900 and something thousand, and you want to make $1 million. If you want to go public, if you know what I mean, if you want to have a great relationship, if you just simply want healing, whatever it is, if you want to change something about yourself, if you're going to read more, you're going to be great, whatever it is, write your 10 positive affirmations on the index cards. And then I want you to take those index cards and place them all over your house, in places that you go every day, on the mirror, on the sink. Everybody goes to the refrigerator in the morning. Put one on the refrigerator. You can put it on your car. I personally put one on the side of the wall by my commode. I know that's TMI, but we go there every day. And you say these affirmations twice a day, once in the morning and once in the evening. Now, they say that it takes 21 days to form a habit. I don't know how true that is. So I want you to do it for 30 days. Once in a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. And when you say these affirmations, I want you to say them with so much conviction that not only do you feel it, but you begin to believe it, and it begins to sit inside your soul. And then as it comes out, then the power that of the word, as the words coming out, the power that's inside of you is coming out, and you are unleashing it with every word that you say. So you saying, I am powerful, I am successful, I am bold, I am wonderful, I am beautiful. Whatever these affirmations are, you just say them out your mouth and say them with so much feeling, so much conviction, that at the end of the 30 days or in the process of going to the 30 days, you'll start noticing things in your life will begin to change. What's most importantly, your mindset is going to change, because now you're going to say it, you're going to think it, you're going to feel it. Heck, you're it. That's you.
I like it. Now you're going to say it, you're going to think it, you're going to feel it. And we were having a discussion right before we got started, and you were like, there's a lot going on over there, but yet you were focused as well, and that kind of helps center. So sometimes it's kind of your physiology. So I love that, by the way. I love that. That's spot on. Okay, for those folks that are watching right now, you listen to the one and only Erica Lynn. And this is a really important conversation, because in order for things to improve, you've got to improve. And she's talking about how you can improve yourself, by the way. Erica, take a moment. And we were in the green room, and some folks didn't make it to the green room, by the way. That's where the magic happens. But I'm going to ask her to step back, and she shared a little bit of her backstory, because some of you might be thinking, oh, that sounds good. What has she been through? That's great. I'm glad she read something that she can share. And no. Or she watched some YouTube video and she thought she would come talk to you about. No. There's a backstory here. And so I want to make sure that we slow down for a minute, if it's okay with you, Erica, and then we'll speed up and tell them a little bit of the backstory so they understand how you were able to get here. And for those out there watching, I want you to watch with new eyes right now. I want you to listen with new ears, because this is how she got to where she is, and now she's sharing a part of her with all of us. Please share a little bit of your backstory, please.
Absolutely. For me, when I was a little girl, I remember my parents, they would always argue. A lot of us have parents that argue. Heck, you might be one of the parents that's arguing with your mate. And my dad and my mom, they would break up. They were married, but they would break up. He'll move out, come back, whatever. And so one particular day I came home, he moved out of the house and he didn't come back this time. So that totally devastated me. I just remember sitting in the window waiting on him to pull up, and he wasn't coming back. So I went searching for that father figure, that male in my life, someone to show me that they love me. You know, I call that the daddy syndrome. You know, a lot of girls and boys, you get the daddy syndrome. You're always looking for love in other places. So for me, I wanted my father to show me how a man is supposed to treat me, you know, take me on my first date, pull the chair out, tell me that I'm beautiful, so that when someone says, hey, Erica, you beautiful, I don't just fall for anybody because now I have standards, because my dad taught me how to have standards. Well, that just wasn't my situation. And so I gravitated to a lot of people, a lot of bad people, unfortunately, but I did. And I just remember that we had a neighbor that lived down the street from us, and my mother, they, you know how everybody is an uncle, right? So my mother was like, have him take you to the store. I need some stuff to cook for dinner. And so we did that. And on the way home from the store, he says, well, sit up front with me. I was like, nah, I don't wanna. But I did, because he convinced me. So I remember sitting in the front seat as closest to the door as I could. And he says, why are you sitting so far? I said, because I'm looking at the view. He says, oh, that's too far. So he gently reached over there and he grabbed me. He pulled me close to him. Now, back then, there was no center consoles on the front seat, so there was nothing separating the two of us. And I remember just riding there, clenching my body real close, putting on my defense armor. Well, that didn't work against a grown man, and I was only 13 years old. So he began touching me and doing things that was inappropriate to a 13-year-old girl. So when we got home, I took my mom to groceries, but I never said anything because I didn't want my mother to go to jail for hurting someone else. And I didn't know how to say it out my mouth. But what happened was that caused me to start running from my problems. I ran through life. I started drinking, smoking, partying. I became very promiscuous all at 13, and it carried over. When I was 17 years old, I became a female. I was a stripper, climbing up the pole, doing all kind of stuff. Then I met my kid's father later on at 17, and I started having children at 17. So I married my husband, my ex-husband, and we stayed married for 10 years, had 3 wonderful children. But throughout that 10 years, it was very verbally abusive. It was physically abusive. And my self-esteem was so low when I left out of that marriage. I felt that I was ugly. No one would ever want me, that I couldn't accomplish anything. But when I left out of that marriage, that caused me to go on welfare because I didn't have an education, past high school, or I had a GED. And so I couldn't get a job. I was still smoking weed. I couldn't pass the drug test. And so I was like, if I would get a job, then I wouldn't make no more than $10 an hour, and that wouldn't last long. So my life was just kind of like a trickle effect of bad relationships after bad relationships until I went back to college. And then after going to college, then I hit rock bottom into a depression that was so bad that I didn't think I was going to come back to that depression. But what I later found out was that once I went through my healing process, I realized that I hit rock bottom so late in life was because I never healed from the pains of my past. All I simply did was what everybody do. You start out with a cracked foundation, which could be abuse, my dad, whatever it is, but my foundation was cracked. And then I started adding life, school, kids, dancing, partying, all these things onto this foundation that was not solid in the first place. And so my foundation just simply gave way when I hit rock bottom. So what I had to do was I had to heal. So there was things that I had to go through. My father came back into my life, and the last 3 years of his life, and he began loving on me and pouring into me, like empowering me, giving me those things that I longed for, and I was like, wow, this is great. And then there's another man that came into my life, and he started pouring into me and didn't want anything from me. I was like, wow, this is great friendship. And then there was one more man, Pastor Leon McDonald from the Window Circle Church. He began loving on me from the eyes of God, and I was like, wow, this is great. Like, there was men that kind of broke me down in the beginning, but for God to send all of these men back into my life to partake in my healing journey, it really has changed the trajectory of the way I think and feel about men now. Because, I was part of the men's hater club, like most women. But then I realized that part of that process is to help other women heal. Because there's a lot of women that's part of the men's hater club. And you guys have to realize that all men are not bad. Are there some good men that do bad things? Absolutely. But they're able to redeem themselves and move forward. And so that was part of my learning journey. And as I was going through the journey, then the techniques that I utilized while going through the journey, I just started writing them down. And when I got to a point where I was back to myself, I was like, wow, if this worked for me, just imagine if I can share it in a guide to help countless many other people who deal with pains and hurts and traumas and abuse themselves. Just imagine if I can share it with them so that they can move from that place to this place of healing and be unstuck and be successful and just move forward, have great relationships with their children, their spouse, and their families. So that is part of my backstory.
Very, very powerful. Thanks for sharing. Thanks for being authentic. For those folks that are out there that are watching, do me a favor. That was very powerful. Look and hit the share button. Hit the watch party button right now. We're going to, when you hit the watch party button, just go ahead and put, you got the power. You got the power. Just put, you got the power, hashtag Erica Lynn. Do that right now, like right now, like in this moment. It's not about you, it's not about Erica, it's not about a book. This is about how we can serve and change a life and help empower or inspire someone else that's out there right now. So do me a favor, do that right now. Just please hit the share button, pay this message forward. I'm gonna ask her for just one more technique. Don't worry, I know. I'm pushing, but I'm gonna ask her for one more technique. She has 7, and she can't dive into the whole book, but she's giving you a 50,000 foot level. But what she's giving you is some techniques you can use right now. And that's what I admire about her. She could have said, well, no, you gotta go read the book. You gotta read the book. Can't tell you anything, gotta read the book, but the book's great. No, that's not what she's doing. She's saying, look, I've got more. And you've gotta get the book. You'll be able to get the tools and techniques you need. Give us one more technique, please, that folks can do to heal themselves. They've got the power right now to do it. Let's all do it together.
That's right. Well, the A stands for action. Mm-hmm. What does action mean? you've healed, you've educated yourself. What good is it to heal and learn things if you're not going to do anything about it? So you must take action on the things that you learn. Take actions on the process that you must take. You see, when you begin to identify what the root cause is, you gotta fix it. You gotta fix the things that was wrong with you. So for example, I figured out that some of the things that I experienced in life, I was my own root cause, because I had so much pain. I began self-sabotaging myself at one point or another in my life. How do you stop self-sabotaging? First, you got to figure out that you're self-sabotaging. Somebody might be brave enough to tell you the truth. But when you learn these things, you have to take action to fix them. It makes no sense to learn it if you're not going to do anything about it. So I always say you have to be transparent, and you have to be willing to do what is required. So that is taking action into your life, taking action into your healing journey, taking action into, you say you want to lose weight, right? This is the best example I can give you. You say you want to lose weight. Don't sit on the couch and eat chips and cookies, and because we going through this pandemic. We just started this second wave yesterday. Like my government shut things down in my state. Don't sit down on the couch and just watch TV all day. Take action. Get up, get exercise, walk, read, read the Bible. Do something to stimulate your mind. So that's the same in your healing. You must take action. Learn the things that you need to learn, what tools you need. Figure out what you have to do and actually utilize them. Using them means the same as taking action. So take action in your life. Don't stay stagnant. Take action.
I like that. Take action. The universe rewards people who take action differently than those that don't. Take action, take action, take action. You can do this. You got this. You can do this. You got this. You can do this. You got this. And here's the good news. You don't have to do it alone. You've got Erica, and you have a piece of Erica that's always with you through the power of which she's written in that book right now. We're transitioning to a segment now called Today is My January 1st. And this is one of our core philosophies, Erica. I don't know if I told you this, but one of our core philosophies is today is my January 1st. And today is my January 1st represents a new start, a do-over. My past doesn't equal the future. For those folks out there right now, you look right below the video and put, today is my January 1st. And what it means is we don't wait for those new folks who tune in for the first time. We don't wait till January 1st. We create a January 1st moment every single throughout the day. And there's probably 1,000 moments throughout the day. And any one of those January 1st moments could change the trajectory of your life. You make a decision, as you talk about, that you're going to work out. Or you're going to sit back, you're going to binge watch and watch Netflix. That's a January 1st moment. You make a decision that you're going to eat hamburgers, French fries. If you have my sons around, they got salt, pepper, ketchup, and some hot sauce. Or you're going to go to the refrigerator. You're going to open up the refrigerator. Inside the refrigerator, there's some kale. That tastes good, doesn't it? Look inside the refrigerator, and there's some broccoli. Got to have that. Look in the refrigerator, and there's some Brussels sprouts. Yes, yes, yes. That's a January 1st moment. So my question to Erica Lynn is, when she hears those words, today is my January 1st, what goes to her mind? What does she hear? What is she thinking right now? Talk to us, please.
Well, what I'm thinking is that everybody that is going through something and you don't know what steps to take, today is your January 1st, meaning the first step is you're going to either get therapy, so pick up the phone and call a counselor. You want to go through the healing coaching program, then you're going to figure out, what do I need to do to get the coaching program? Or you just say, I don't know what I need, right? And you get the book, and the book is like a guide. So now you're working independently without working directly with someone. You're working independently, and you're preparing yourself to know what your next step is. But you have to start somewhere. You have to take your first step. And see, when I started this journey, my company is called One Step Beyond You. And people say, why one step beyond you? Because you have to take your first step. January 1st, first step. Every day is January. So you got to start somewhere. Take your first step so that not only can you play big in your life, but just think about it. Have you ever had a boss and your boss was so mean? because that could be you. You could be the mean boss, and your boss is so mean, and you just like, what is up with my boss? Well, 9 times out of 10, your boss got pains and hurts that they're going through too. But when you take that January 1st and you begin to work on yourself, or at least start the process, then your employees no longer hate you. You no longer hate your boss because you took the first step onto your healing journey. And everything connects, all the dots connect. I know people say, like, I might not need this, or why would I need this? But just think about it, how much bigger you could play if you took your first step.
How much bigger could you play if you took the first step? Now, folks out there are excited. They're excited about taking that first step. They're excited right now. Like, yeah, Shay, today is my January 1st. Just like Erica, they were excited back on December 31st, you know, after a couple drinks. Remember that on the back of a napkin, you were writing down those New Year's resolutions? And we know how that landed. For some of you, it landed just fine, okay? People like others, I know, it didn't land just the way we wanted it to. And so you may have heard this before, Erica, and I love sharing this because sometimes I believe there is truth inside of truisms, right? And it goes like this: consistency is the key, consistency is the key, consistency is the key. And having said that, what do most people struggle with most? Consistency. And so my question to you, Erica, is what do you share with folks in order for them to be consistent? And as my good mentor, Dr. George C. Frazier would say with a little Shay Brown remix version on that, hashtag stay the course. What's your secret to be consistent?
Well, you show them how to develop a routine. So I teach people how to develop a routine. When we're going through like our private coaching or our coaching sections, we talk about time and routine. And so that's one of the lessons that you're learning about routine, right? Is the motivational that you speak to yourself, the inspirational cards. That's routine. That's consistency. And when you begin to feel better, like after doing them for so long, you begin to feel better. But then when you don't do them one day, you're like, dang, something is not right. Yeah. So you begin noticing the difference. And so I want to teach people about time and strategy and routines. And at first, as a coach, I'm on you, right? I'm on you. I ride you. I ain't gonna lie, I'm riding you, helping you become consistent. And then I begin to back off, because this is the thing. You have to be willing to help yourself. I can't want something more for you than you want for yourself. I love you. I'll give you everything that's within me. I'll give you all my resources. And I'll do everything that I need to do as a coach to help you. But you have to be willing to do what is required. And one of those things is be consistent. You was consistent with your business. How did you get the business started? You had to do everything you needed to do to get the business started. Well, that's the same with healing. You have to be consistent on your healing journey, because if you fall off longer, then you're going to find yourself right back in the place that where you started. So we don't want to go back there. I want you guys to have all of this energy. Do you guys imagine I'm like this all the time? But I wasn't always like this. I would have highs and lows, highs and lows, highs and lows. But when I did the work that was required, I'm able to stay high all the time. I want that for you guys. And I'm able to do that because I was consistent. I learned my tools. I learned my techniques. So if I was coming down on the low, I knew what to do to get myself back up high. And that's something that I want all of you guys to learn. How to stay high. And if you're falling, how to pick yourself back up. And that's with consistent techniques. That's what your consistent strategy that you're going to get. And so the key word, as Shay said, is be consistent and move forward. Be consistent
and move forward. Sorry about that. Be consistent and move forward. I'm trying to make sure we got the sound. I thought someone said there was a problem with the sound, but they can hear us loud and clear. Whew. Thank goodness. Okay, for those folks that are out there as well, can you take a moment, please, and also share with them how they can best connect with you? As they're listening to you now, they're like, okay, this is cool. I can hear her. This is great. But Shay, how do I get the book? Shay, if she's available to speak to groups, speak on shows. Shay, if she's available for podcasts, how do I contact her? And more importantly, what type of clients does she work with these days? So let me try to reframe that for you. It's a two-part question. Number one, what type of clients is your firm even taking on these days, if any, if you have space for that? And number two, how should they best connect with you so they can stay in this conversation over and beyond today and get the book?
Absolutely. I take on clients that's ready to live a life of abundance. If you want to live a life of abundance, I'll be your coach. If you're ready to fight for your healing, I'm definitely your coach. If you're ready to just laugh uncontrollably, oh, I'm the one for you. If you are ready and willing to do the work that is required, I'm so your girl. First of all, what's important, if you're ready to be, if you are coachable, we could work together. And simply, you just go to ericalynnspeaks.com. Everything is on ericalynnspeaks.com. We have the group coaching program. I have my One Step Beyond You signature program. So if you don't want to work one-on-one and you want to work in a group with other like-minded individuals, then you go to the One Step Beyond You signature program. If you wanted to just be you and I on the Let Your Light Shine program, just coaching you and I one-on-one, then you can do the Let Your Light Shine program. But if you say, Erica, I know I need help, I don't know what I want to do, can you guide me? Then I'm doing free consultations. So you can also sign up for a free consultation. There's a link on the Work With Me page to get the book. The book is on Amazon, but it's easier. Just go to ericalynnspeaks.com on the Work With Me, and you'll get a link to all of the programs. And if you want to book me as a speaker, there's a link also on there to book me as a speaker. I like to speak at all events, women's events, at anything to empower and motivate people. I just like to encourage. So sometimes people think that healing comes from a sad place. Like when we talk about healing, it's always sad. I don't want to be sad. But I deliver all of this energy to you so that not only I make you think, but I motivate you to move and take action. And the action is go to ericalynnspeaks.com and get your free download today.
Get your free download today. Give them the site one more time.
ericalynnspeaks.com. So that's ericalynnspeaks.com.
Let's all go over to ericalynnspeaks.com. Let's just make sure the site works, right? So if you have your phone, just kind of grab your phone now, kind of open. If you're watching this on the phone, don't do it, okay? Don't do it if you're watching this on the phone. And then go ahead and just open the site, ericalynnspeaks.com, and follow the directions. We're moving into a segment now called Rapid Fire. And for those folks that are watching for the first time, welcome, welcome, welcome. Rapid Fire is all about, I get to ask any questions top of mind to me, and Erica can answer or she can decline, right? She can pass on it. And before we answer that, because I'm going to answer a question that's very important, which is really what's one of the lessons that she's learned from any one of the mentors she had on this long journey of life with so much more to go that she would share with us. Of all the mentors she's had, what's one lesson that she's going to pass on to us? And you, as you're watching out there, do me a favor. First, hit the share button, because she's now going to share something that can help another person, another entrepreneur right now, someone else that has dreams and aspirations, and she's going to pass that wisdom on. Hit the share button. And when you hit the share button and you do that, I want you to write these words: serve plus add value. That's what she's doing tonight or this morning or this evening, whatever time you're watching, okay? Serve plus add value. Hit that button right now. Hit the share button, hit the share button, hit the share button. And as you do that, rest of you all lean in. Lean in now. Put your hands out like this and say thank you, because she's about to bless you right now. All right, Erica, give us one of the lessons you learned from any one of your mentors that we can use in our lives or business now, please.
Absolutely. My very first coach, Dr. Sonia Thomas, she had told me to get a little notebook and write everybody's name in the notebook that has helped me along the way. And so at first I was like, well, I don't need a notebook, because I know everybody that has helped me, right? But this is in the beginning when I was broke. I was a bum. And I was just starting out on my journey. And I didn't understand why. So now here he is all these years later. Mentally, I totally can't remember everybody, but I can go back to this notebook of everybody that has helped me along the way, even if they gave me kind words or invested in my business, or just really edited some stuff for me. Like, I had a lot of people help me in the beginning of my journey and continue to help me, right? But for me, the reason why it sticks out to me the most, not only because everybody loved me enough to help me, but when I am finished getting to where I'm trying to go, I have this vision in my mind that I want to throw a big event and I want to invite all of these people and not tell them that the event is for them, kind of like, do a trickery. And when they come to the event, actually celebrate them for loving me, pouring into me, and guiding me through my journey. Because a lot of people that I met through this journey, I asked them, why are you helping me? And I can't afford to pay you what you're worth. And they all said, because God told me we had to help you. And one person in particular, I said, well, why did God tell you that you needed to help me? They said, because you're going to change lives. And if we don't help you now, you're going to stop. You're not going to go forward with your business. You're not going to go forward with your gift and your purpose. And so he asked me to help you get over this hump. And that's how it had been in the beginning of me starting out. So many people had just blessed me with their hands and just helped me move forward. And so that is my piece of advice to you. Write down everybody that is helping you along the way on your journey, because you never know where your company is going to go. You never know where you're going to go. But when you get to a point, you can send Christmas cards or flowers or some type of gift just saying, hey, it could be 5 years later. I remember when you said some kind words to me. I remember when you gave me $2 to get on the bus so I can go meet with my first client, and my first client didn't know I didn't have a car. I just want to say thank you. I'm a millionaire now, and I just want to let you know thank you for helping me start my business. So that is one of the best pieces of advice that I can give you. And thank you, Dr. Sonia Thomas, for giving me that advice.
And thank you for being so open and sharing that with us. We certainly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Folks that are listening right now may be thinking, and I have the question on my mind as well. You've read so many books along your life journey. You've written a book that's super amazing. I want everyone to go get the book. She said the best way to do it is go over to Erica Lynn Speaks with an S, SPEAKS.com, and just follow the instructions. So I'm going to ask you, what's one of the books that you've read that's had an impact on you? Now we're going to take the good book, the Bible, off of that, because that's not a book. That's something different. And we're going to take Think and Grow Rich, because that's a good one. We'll put that to the side.
I think it's back there on my shelf, if you can see.
Yeah, I mean, I know those are what I call classics. Like they're timeless. But you've read more than 2 books in your lifetime, I'm sure, as well. And any one comes to mind? And if so, what's one idea that's popping top of mind to you that's helped guide you along this journey?
Absolutely. When I took on my publicist, first of all, I hired her as a coach first. Mm-hmm. And when you go to your coach, they want to know your ideas on what you want to do. So I kind of was all over the place. I was good at this, helping people exercise, this, that. And they said, you all over the place. We need you to focus on one thing. And so Pam Perry says, I need you to read this book, One Thing. And I said, well, what is the book about? One thing. And as I began to read the book helps you center your thoughts and focus on one thing. And so you may have 10 things that you're doing, a hair salon, a restaurant, a barbershop, a real estate, because everybody in the real estate company, mortgage, whatever it is. But you got to focus on the one thing first and bring in the revenue from the one thing, get good at the one thing, and then start adding on other things. Because if you're focusing on all 20 businesses at one time, how are you giving your energy to one thing first and allowing it to grow? So everything that you're doing, nothing is really growing to its full potential because you can't nurture it. You can't water it like a flower. You know what I mean? So if you focus on this business first and water it like a flower, get it to grow, then you start another business because this one is grown, and now you put the people in place, you hire management and staff, so now you're able to go to another business, focus on it, water it, and let it grow. So in other words, focus on one thing first, and then you can begin to add other things onto your plate.
Focus on the one thing. As we come down the home stretch, last question, then we'll give you the opportunity to have your closing remarks. Focus on the one thing. What does happiness look like for you these days? When are you the happiest?
I'm happy.
Talking to Shay Brown? Fine, I'll take that. No, I'm joking.
Right, absolutely. I'm happy when I wake up in the morning, Shay, like seriously, because my life was not like this years ago. So I'm happy because I work out regularly, 3-4 times a week. I hired a trainer, and so my trainer trains me. And on days my trainer and I are not working together, she sends me my routines, and I go and I work out by myself at the gym. And so I'm happy because I have been overweight for so long, so long. So I'm not just telling people put the cookies down and dance away the pound. I'm actually putting the cookies down and I'm dancing away the pounds, eating healthy. And I feel good. You know what I mean? This is just the best that I've felt inside and out. And when you feel good inside and out, you can pour all of that love and energy to all the people that you are called to help and all the people that are called to you. So I'm happy just waking up every day.
That's a perfect way to start, man. Waking up every single day. Let me say a couple of things. First, let me say thank you so much for being on the Happy Entrepreneur Show. We certainly appreciate it. You're taking time away from your family, taking time away from your business to be here with us. So thank you so much. Learned so much. We've got to have you back. I can't wait. Shout out to Pam Perry. We're giving her a couple of shout outs already, but Pam Perry PR is a rock star. Hey,
Yes.
You might want to use that, Pam. Pam Perry PR is a rock star. I guess you couldn't say that about yourself, but I can say that about you, by the way. So thank you so much, Erica. I appreciate it. I want to turn over to you to have your final thoughts and comments. Sometimes people like to share something to empower, inspire, and motivate folks that are out there that are listening right now as we close out. And I want to encourage you all to make sure you go over to www.ericalynnspeaks.com. Follow the directions. Get the book. She didn't show you the book, but before she closes out, she's going to grab that book and she's going to do like this and she's going to hold the book up. So you will see the book. I'm sure she's going to do that. I'm sure she's going to do that. I'm sure she's going to do that. I told you that. They always do. They always do. So go ahead and have your final thoughts and show them the book. Show them the book so they can see the book. It's real.
Right. The book is The 7 Techniques of Healing. So that's the name of the book by Erica Lynn, 7 Techniques of Healing. You can get it on Barnes & Noble and on Amazon. So the link is on my website, ericalynnspeaks.com. But simply this, just like I've had limitations, you guys have limitations, we all have limitations, something or another in our life. But don't allow your limitations to hinder you. Always take one step beyond you into your greatest self, into the greatest development and becoming who you work hard to be. So in doing so, you will begin to understand things about yourself that you didn't even know. You'll begin to stretch yourself further than you have ever stretched before. You'll go places that you have never gone before. Just think, before the pandemic, many of you wanted to travel around the world, be on shows all over the world. I've been on podcasts in Africa. I've been all over the world. I can say I've been to Ghana. But it's because I stepped outside my box. I want you guys to step outside your box. And most importantly, never quit and never give up.
Never quit, never give up. You've got the power inside of you. You can heal yourself. With that being said, let me say thank you so much for watching. If you hadn't hit the share button, hit the share button. If you haven't hit the share button, hit the share button. Pay this message forward. You're amazing. You're incredible. You've got greatness inside you. And today is your January 1st. You got the power inside you. Today is your January 1st. You can do this thing. And for you, put the sunglasses on because the future is bright and the best is yet to come. With that being said, my name, by the way, for those folks that are just tuning in and wondering who's doing all that screaming, who's doing all that yelling, my name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. And I promise you from the bottom of my heart, we'll make some good things happen. We connect again next time. Remember, time is long. Life, on the other hand, is very, very short. So you got to live in the moment and you got to make it count. God bless and we wish you success. Thanks a lot, by the way. Thanks so much. We'll see you around next time, Erica. You're amazing. Everyone, we out of here. Peace. See you.
Promise I made to my mom. I only did this message for one person, and that's my mom. This is for you, Mom. Love you. My name is Shay Brown, the Happy Entrepreneur. Make it a great day, everyone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
right, Shay Brown.
Mic check, mic check.
All I do is win, no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up.
Yes. Yeah.
And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there. Cause all I do is win.
Yeah.
Thank you. God bless.